Well, great finds in all sizes. Well, welcome to Finding America. It is really great to see you here. Well, once again, terrible weather put a serious crimp on my metal detecting this past week, but I did find a small window in the weather, so I decided to head back to one of my favorite spots, the old Millhouse Workers neighborhood. Well, the weather was looking great when I fired up my Equinox 800, but I knew there was another big storm front rolling in just a few hours. Now, I had no idea what I was going to be able to do in just a few hours of metal detecting, but as it turned out, it was going to be a very good day. Well, it's kind of nice. I was getting a 15. I ended up digging like 5 pieces of garbage, and on the last piece of garbage, I got a little bonus find that made it worthwhile. Got a real nice little glass marble. So I will definitely take that, and I'm going to keep on going, see what else is out here. Well, this one was giving me a high tone, 2729. Popped the plug and it was sitting here, some kind of lever, but it says Sun Tour Japan. So I don't know if that's off a bike or what, but that'll be interesting to see if I can figure it out. It appears to be aluminum. It's very light. It's a pretty cool little piece, and we'll see what else is here. Well, this one was giving me an 18. Dug down and this popped out. I gave it a quick brush, but it appears to be an old lipstick tube cover. Pretty neat little design. I don't think it has anything on it from what I can tell. But nice old find, probably 30s. Well, I was getting a nice 23, 24 signal here. Dug down about 6 inches, finally got it out. It's got some iron stuck to it. But I got a nice weedy. This one's going to be 1945. Well, this is kind of cool. As you can see, a couple pieces to a toy gun. I believe it's a Hewlett Trooper. Hard to tell from this, but what was kind of unusual about it, I'll show you. It's a copper color. I've really never seen one this color before, so I thought I'd show it to you, and I'm gonna maybe dig into a little research on this and see exactly what that was. But yeah, it's some kind of copper color. Might have a horseshoe up here, but it's pretty cool. Just got 2 pieces of it, and just thought I'd show you that. Kind of interesting. Well, I have to say I was a bit puzzled, and I was really surprised to find out that they actually made gold cap guns. And while I only found a few broken pieces of them, I'm really glad I found them. And I guess my goal now is to find a complete gold cap gun. Well, got a nice little one here. Give me a 21. Dug down about 4 inches and popped it out. Got a nice early green weedy, and from what I can tell, it's going to be a 1914. Fortunately, I left my magnifying glass at home, so, but I think that's what it is, and I'm definitely happy to have that nice early weedy. Well, I'll tell you what, I might have something really cool. I don't know. Dug that 1914 penny here, filled the hole, ran my coil over it. There were so many signals, and another signal right next to it, and check it out. I don't know what it is. It seems smaller than a dime. And light. I have no idea what it is. Got a car going by me. I don't know. It might be a little token, or how bizarre. Wow. I don't know. Check that out though. I swear I see a date like 1917 next to his head. Oh man, I think it's a plate coin, but not one like I've seen before. Wow, check it out. I don't know. I'll tell you what, let me just get this cleaned up a little bit better. Looks very cool. Holy cow. I'll tell you what, this makes my day. I've been digging garbage. It says Mazuma 10 in money on this side, but the other side, now I can only see a little bit of it, but in the center of this coin, let me get it in focus here, it says Buffalo Bill on the bottom. It's got Buffalo Bill in the center, and it does have 1917 next to his head there. I can't make out the rest of it right now, so I'm going to check it out and clean it up a little bit more when I get home. But this has to be the best piece of play money I have ever dug. That is killer. Oh, to find something from Buffalo Bill, I'll tell you what, that's finding America. Well, that is a very hard to find play money token featuring Buffalo Bill, and it was included in Mazuma gum packages all the way back in 1934. Well, I'm really glad that I found something chewing gum related, because chewing gum has a very interesting history, and believe it or not, we have General Santa Anna to thank for our chewing gum. Well, that's right, the Mexican General Santa Anna from the Battle of the Alamo. Well, in the 1860s, Santa Anna was exiled from Mexico, and believe it or not, he was living on Staten Island. Now, he was consumed with an intense desire to raise money, get an army, and return to power in Mexico. Well, he was absolutely desperate to find the money to get back home and get back to power. And he got an idea from the chicle that he had habitually started chewing to calm his nerves. Now, chicle is actually a sap from the sapodilla tree. And recently, Goodyear had perfected a process of vulcanizing rubber and was making a fortune. Well, General Santa Anna became convinced that this chicle was his ticket back home. Well, while he was on Staten Island, Santa Anna teamed up with an American inventor by the name of Thomas Adams. And he gave him a huge amount of chicle in order to see if he could figure out a process to turn that sap into rubber. Well, after several months with absolutely no success, General Santa Anna was furious. He parted ways with Thomas and eventually ended up back in Mexico penniless. Well, that left Thomas with a huge amount of chicle that he had no idea what he was going to do with it, until he walked into a drugstore and saw that the store owner had something called chewing gum for sale there. He asked the store owner about it, and the store owner admitted that it wasn't really a gum, it was a paraffin wax. Well, the light bulb went off after Thomas left the store. He had a great idea, and he returned to the store with a couple hundred gumballs of the chicle, which he called chiclets. Well, they proved to be extremely popular, and they flew off the shelves. Well, the word was really starting to get out about Adams' chiclets. And a few years later, he teamed up with William Wrigley Jr., who added flavoring and sugar to the gum to produce a spearmint and the famous Juicy Fruit brand. Well, there was one problem facing both Adams and Wrigley. Chewing gum was actually really seriously looked down upon in American society at the time. Even in movies, the bad guys chewed gum and the good guys smoked cigarettes. I tell you, times have definitely changed, haven't they? Well, Wrigley refused to give up. He finally swayed the American society towards chewing gum through massive advertising. And believe it or not, he actually sent a pack of gum to every single American listed in every single phone book in the United States. Well, in case you were wondering what happened to General Santa Anna, he died a penniless and powerless old and bitter man back in Mexico, while the Adams family fortune amounted to millions. I'd say that's pretty fitting. Well, the weather was turning for the worse, and the rain and the fog were rolling in. But I kept going, and I'm really glad I did. Well, next thing was giving me a 15. I dug down, I cleaned it off real quick to save a little time, but it's just a tiny little key. This is going to be like a suitcase or briefcase key. and I'll see if it has anything on it when I get home, but neat little find. Well, this is giving me a 14 dug down, and I have another piece of that printing plate, most likely from the one from the last video. So adding to my collection, I'll get that printing plate assembled one day. Well, this one was giving me a 15. Said it was about 4 inches down. That's about right. Finally pulled it up here, and I think I have an iron back button. Gonna be probably overall or jeans. I haven't looked at it yet. Well, this might be one I haven't found yet. I'll wipe it on my pants here. Oh, that's cool. I have not found this one before. It says pointer on it. So that is awesome. That's one more for my collection. I love when I can find one that I haven't found before. So very happy with this. And this is going to be 20s or 30s. And that's the iron back right there. So very cool. Very happy with that. You know, it's really interesting that the dog that was used in the Pointer brand logo was actually a real dog. His name was Carolina Bill, and he was a favorite bird dog of Landon King, the man who started the business all the way back in 1913. Well, Landon King was known for raising championship dogs, and he also thought that he could manufacture some championship work and hunting attire as well. And it turns out he was right, because they're still in business today, making their famous clothing in Bristol, Tennessee. Well, this time I was getting a 12, and I think I got another button. Look at that. Pretty well preserved, too. Wow. I don't know if this is a newer one or just a remarkably preserved old one, but we'll find out. It's definitely got some kind of design on it. Yeah, I'd say that's kind of recent, but still pretty cool. USA with the stars and bars on it. So I'll take it. Not as old as the last one. Probably 70s, 80s, somewhere in there, but pretty cool little jean button. Well, this is kind of an interesting signal. Well, the signal was not interesting. It was a 17. It was the find that was interesting. So I don't know what it is. It was probably about 5 inches down. And look at this thing. That's the backside. But look at I mean, it is very cool. I mean, it's like Art Deco period. Look at that cool swept kind of wingtip there. I mean, that is a really cool piece. I just don't know what it went on. Very cool. I don't know, maybe I'll get something off it when I get home, get it cleaned up a little bit more, but very cool. It was appears to have been plated, chrome plated. It's a heavy metal. It's not junk metal. So really cool piece. Probably 20s, 30s. Just not sure what it went on. Have to do some digging on this one. I'd say this next find is super cool in my eyes, definitely. It's just wild. It's getting a 31, and this was just a couple inches down. Check that out. It is old, old, old. It says Binks, Chicago, USA. Other side it says Binks Model 36, made in USA. I don't know. It's obviously, I don't know. I don't know what it was used for exactly, but it's got this pistol grip here, place for your thumb and your finger to go in. So I don't know if it was a pressure washer maybe, or I don't know. Some kind of tool, maybe with a air tool, or very cool though. I should be able to figure it out. It gave me a model number and everything, but I just really like it. Very, very cool piece. Well, this signal is giving me a really strong 29. I was kind of hoping for a quarter or something like that, but I think I got something even better. Look at this. I think it's a big token. I haven't touched it. I just saw there was lettering on it. Oh, heck yeah. St. Joseph County Savings Bank. Wow. I'll tell you what, that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to get it sprayed off and get it brushed here, and I'll give you a better look at it, but that's awesome. It's about the size of a $50. It's aluminum. It looks like South Bend, Indiana on the bottom down there, so oh, that's very cool. It's got some kind of denomination at the top. I'll be right back, but oh man, I love finding those old tokens. So cool. Oh man, this is an awesome token. It says St. Joseph County Savings Bank, St. Joseph Loan and Trust Company, South Bend, Indiana. And this is where it gets really cool. It's a little hard to make out up here, but it says good for 50 cents to start a savings account, not to be withdrawn for 1 year. Now, you know it's got to be pretty old, because 50 cents meant a lot to this bank that they didn't want them withdrawing it within a year. So this is going to be teens, 20s, I would imagine. So I'll have to look it up, see when they were in business. Hopefully I can figure that out. But oh man, there's such a I just love finding tokens, and for this to be the second token, that's just killer. Well, I absolutely love finding old tokens, and I think this hunt definitely proves that great finds come in all sizes. Now, I really hope you enjoyed watching this episode, but please don't go away just yet. I have some very cool historical photos from our country's great past coming up in just a few seconds. And these photos are inspired by one of the things that I found this hunt. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure, and I cannot wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.